Hi guys, I've been having a lot of fun with my dolls these days. I have really gotten back into the hobby. I have been rebodying, rewigging, and changing out the eye chips on lots of my dolls, and even dabbling in a couple of make-it-own kits. Since I did my initial reboxing of my Taeyang Natsume doll, whose name is Jax, I have received a couple of requests from people just wanting to see him in a little bit more detail. One of the things I mentioned in that video was that because it was just the unboxing, I didn't really have all that many first impressions of him, so I was going to wait a little while and do a second video on him, so that's what this is. I've had him for, I guess, maybe a year, a little bit more than a year now. And in that time, I have rewigged him. Well, I did a couple of things. I boil permed his original wig and to make it straight, and I ended up rewigging him as well. And I haven't changed his eye chips. So what I thought I would do is just show you a little bit about him and what I've done with him. So he has a Lutz wig that is heat resistant, which allowed me to straight iron it. And I really like how it turned out. It's kind of funky, wispy, messy looking. And I did cut it and straighten it, and I really like how it looked. At first it had a big kind of bump right there, and it does have a little bit, like the top of his head is kind of a little bit funny shape just because the wig doesn't sit fully down on his head. But I think I've managed to fix the styling of his hair so that you can't really notice it. Maybe I'm being too nitpicky about that. But I really like how his hair looks right now. I think it looks cool and suits him well. I'll show you his face up. So like Isl Mao, who I also have, he has very tiny eyebrows. I can't see it on my screen right now, but I'm hoping that by the time this gets on my computer, you'll be able to see his eyebrows run from about there to there, if you can't see that. And they're very, very faint, which is, I guess, my one complaint about him. I really love he does have lower eyelashes painted on and some green kind of eyeshadow in through this area right here and lower lashes. And then he also has these two little freckles. They're super cute. I really love them. They really kind of set him apart. And his lips are very neutral and they're matte. They're not shiny. And he does have earrings in this ear, 2 piercings. And he has a grayish color eye chip. As I said, I'm thinking about rechipping him. I've been rechipping lots of my dolls lately, and the more I change the eye chips, the less I like the groove eye chips that the dolls typically come with. He's a handsome boy. I really, really love him. I love his look. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about his face and his head. I will tell you a little bit about his original wig. So his original wig, if you watched my unboxing video, you know that it was pretty horrible. And so I did boil perm it, which I talked about in that original video, so I'm not going to talk too much about that right now. I have hung on to it just because he was in this wig when I did my video that he appeared in. And Jax has the honor of being my only deceased doll. He actually is dead, and so because he's dead, you won't be seeing him in this wig in any of my videos because this is how he looks on my shelves right now because I just prefer this wig over this wig. But when he makes an appearance in any of my stories, he will be wearing this because it will be a flashback. So I have hung on to the wig for that reason. It's a pretty good quality wig, like even though it's been sitting around in a drawer and it's been handled a lot and kind of like moved from one place to another. It's not frizzy. It's a little bit dull. I don't know if you can tell with my lights the way they are. It shines a little bit, but it has almost like a hazy look. It almost looks like there's powder or some type of hair product in it. And I'm not sure if that's just the way, it could be that the plastic in the wig just kind of discolored when I poured lots and lots of boiling water over it. I don't remember it being like this before when it was curly. I seem to recall it being a slightly richer color of brown. So anyhow, I'm not sure if that's just part of the cost of boil perming a wig or not. But as I said, I'm hanging on to it for the purposes of my videos and stories. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was his stock outfit, because it's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. The one thing that I love it so much that I don't feel the need to dress him in anything else except for the pants. So the pants that he came with are part of this kind of cargo suit. It almost looks like a delivery guy or a worker's outfit. It does have like a saggy bum with the pockets down lower, and it snaps open and closed. I think I might put my camera in the tripod, in the other tripod, so that I can show you guys in a little bit more detail and know that I'm in screen. So hang on. Alright, so I was showing this. It's beautifully made. I showed some of the details in the other video, so I'm not going to go into that in too much detail right here, but it is a really beautiful little outfit. However, it is rather plain and it looks sort of like a worker's outfit, so it doesn't quite fit with Jax's character. And the way that the doll came was with this sort of bunched up and tied around his waist, so that these were his pants, and then he wore these other shirts on top, and I just didn't like that as pants for him. So I took them off, and what I did was I actually got a Ken doll. And Ken doll clothes in stores around here are not all that inexpensive. But I found a Ken doll who was wearing a pair of jeans that I liked, and he was only $5. So I bought him, and I ended up with a pair of pants and a shirt. And I just tossed the doll. Well, I didn't toss it, but I gave it to my daughters. And so I really like these jeans. They came on that Ken doll, and they fit him okay. As you can see, there's, they're not terribly tight or anything, but his clothes come down and cover up the waistband anyways. So the jeans are the only thing on him right now that are not part of his stock outfit. They're Ken doll jeans. And his boots are absolutely fabulous. I like them loose with these jeans so that the jeans can kind of tuck inside. They do tighten up quite a lot, and they look quite nice when they're tight, but I just wanted them loose for a nice casual look. And then this vest is very nice. It's like it's a thick cotton. It has these two little buttons, and it's closed with a piece of Velcro. It's nicely finished. Even the inside is finished nicely, like it's lined and everything. And then this tie is also quite nice. It has a black back on it, and so he's just wearing this outfit where the tie just kind of hangs around his neck. And one thing that I wanted to show, somebody was asking me for lots of details about Taeyang's body and so on, so wanted to show his body. I'm not going to take off his pants in this video, but I will show you that the articulation on his legs is quite a bit more than the articulation on a pull-up doll's legs. And it has kind of like that double joint that's similar to the Obitsu joint, so it bends and then it bends again. So, and his legs can kind of go in lots of different angles that a human leg would never go in. And his body is, his upper body is quite nicely detailed. There's a little bit, he doesn't really have a lot of flex. He has some flex through the hip here, but there's not a whole lot of flex here between his rib cage and his stomach. It's pretty solid there. He has these kind of pieces of plastic here. They do move around a little bit, and they help his arm move a little bit, but it also looks better than just having a ball joint there like the other dolls do. So it makes his shoulders look, just a little bit more masculine and pleasing. And his arms also, bend quite a bit more. He's squeaky, but he's not going to break or anything. His arms bend more than a pull-up doll's arms bend. It's a little bit inhuman looking right now, so we'll get him back to a more friendly pose. And yeah, so I hope that that answers your questions about his body and articulation. His wrist has kind of like this ball, and his hand is attached to it, and the ball goes in all different directions. So that's how his hands are. And he's got nice, you know, large hands compared to Pullip. So that is the doll himself and the outfit that he's wearing right now. I didn't get a chance to show the details of this shirt in my original video, so this is what I meant about the applique piece of leather that's kind of, that dangles off the edge, and this shirt has like a piece of plastic in the cowl neck so that you can kind of make it hang the way that you want it to hang. And it's just a nice fitted, it looks beautiful on him. He's wearing it in my original video, so you'll get to see it on him in that. And this leather jacket is probably my favorite thing. Actually, the chair is my favorite thing besides the doll, but this leather jacket would be my second favorite thing besides the doll. I love this jacket. It's beautifully finished on the inside, and it just feels a whole lot like real leather, and it looks a lot like real leather, and it has really beautiful details. I showed it in quite a bit of detail in the original video, so I don't need to talk about it too much here. And again, this jacket here has lots of details with pockets and drawstrings and corduroy little details. It's really beautiful too. And I showed his cello, which I do have this part that broke off. I keep re-gluing it with super glue and it keeps on coming apart, so I couldn't find it for this video, but I do know that I have it. And the bow, which I showed in the other video. The chair has proven to be probably the most versatile thing that came with this doll besides the doll himself. I use this chair for all kinds. I use it on my shelf for just storing my dolls, but I use it for photos, and it's just really, really nice to have a pull-up size chair that's made for pull-ups and that doesn't tip over. I find a lot of times when you sit a pull-up in a Barbie chair or in a chair that wasn't made for them, it kind of knocks over, but I think it's because it's got this wide, like the front of it is so wide compared to the back of it that it doesn't tip over. Anyways, for whatever reason, it doesn't tip. And he does come with this cute little necklace as well that I did show in the other video. So that is Alexander Jax. And oh yes, the other thing that somebody asked me was, how does a Taeyang compare in size to a female Obitsu'd doll? Because this person was planning to Obitsu her female doll and wanted to know if she would still be shorter than a Taeyang. So I'm going to go get an Obitsu'd female and show you the difference. So this is Suri. She is my Bloody Red Hood doll who has had quite a makeover since she's been in one of my videos last. She has this beautiful Leek World wig, which, oh, I'm so in love with her wig. And she has Kira Kira eye chips in a beautiful green and brown. I love, love, love them. And my daughter thinks she looks a little creepy with the new eyes, but I have to say I really, really love the new eyes. So this is, and she has quite high-heeled boots, and they're not only high-heeled because he has high-heeled boots too, but they have this platform. So maybe I should compare without the boots, but even with the boots, you'll see that if I line them both up on the 1 inch mark, which is right here, you'll see that they both have their heels lined up at 1 inch, and Suri is still 1.5 inches shorter than Jax. So there should be 3, I think. 1, 2, well, she's at least 1 inch, so that represents 1 inch shorter than Jax. And then if I took off her boots, I'm not going to take off her boots because look at how much they're laced up. I'm going to go grab another doll. So here we have Nikki, who's also had quite a makeover since you saw her last. I need to do an updated doll video. Her shoes come off quite a bit easier, and she has an obitsu and a new wig, and she has new Kira Kira eye chips as well, and I just have to take off these shoes. They're a little tight because they are Rement brand. So let's sit her on her flat feet. And without the shoes, she is... that looks like 1.5 inches at least, 1.5, and maybe a little bit more. So more than 1.5 inches shorter than Taeyang, although, you know, Taeyang has some shoes on, so maybe 1.5 inches we'll say. So that's how the Taeyang compares to an obitsued pull-up. Let me know if you have any other questions. I'm happy to take any requests for videos. I received a lot of requests for videos through Instagram and also here on YouTube, wondering when I'm going to come back and make more videos. I basically didn't have much to say because I hadn't been using my dolls, and then I suddenly was, but there was no change. But there's been a lot of changes lately, so I have lots to show. And I think I'll do a series of update videos just to show you guys how some of my dolls have changed since I was last active here on YouTube. So have a great week, everybody, and thanks for watching.